Today we have three representatives of the class and the variety is insane. So this is made in India but it's American. That is imported fully built from Thailand but it's Italian, and that is imported from Thailand assembled in India but it's Japanese. Wait for it. That is a 90-degree V-twin 800cc. This is a, do you know what the angle is? It's not 52 degrees. It's a V-twin. And that is a parallel twin. So the variety here is insane, and we are also going to ride them in the environments where you would use them. So that's the city where you do a lion's chunk of the work. There's the highway, and many of you will take motorcycles like this out on the highway. And for the smallest chunk of people who will evolve beyond that, the racetrack. We'll see what these bring to the table when it comes to attracting new riders to motorcycling. And the oldest motorcycle in the class in that sense is the Kawasaki. The amazing pricing and capability of the Kawasaki Ninja 650 literally created the class in India. And this is the all-new motorcycle that replaces the original from last year. It shares the mechanicals with the Z650. We've reviewed that motorcycle earlier and it was impressive. And this one is too. The addition of the fairing makes the motorcycle look bigger to people and to the rider from the saddle as well. It's an edgy design like current Kawasaki's tend to favor, but not as aggressive as the Ninja ZX-10 are. But in city, in traffic, the Ninja 650 is effortless. It cuts through easily and smoothly, and you don't need a lot of gear changes or throttle work to get it done. The Z650 might be a slightly better commuter because it feels a hair more compact, but the Ninja 650 feels very good indeed. You just keep wishing that the engine, it had a more upbeat audio track. The 650 parallel twin isn't brand new, it's been updated for Euro 4, but it's at times when you're, for example, at a high lean angle, you're coming back on the gas where you want smoothness from the motorcycle. That's the change that has happened to the Ninja 650. This is a much smoother motorcycle than before, and that makes it that much more usable. The engine is terrific to use though. Out on the highway, it felt at home no matter the speed. Always tranquil, always just enough torque for an overtake, always on the ball. The Ninja 650 also has a smoother ride and easy handling that makes highways and the twisties easy even with luggage. The softer ride though, that could affect the racetrack performance, right? I really wasn't expecting the Ninja 650 to do the things that it is doing, because the fairing means you can run on the highway and it's comfortable, you're behind the wind, and long distances at high speeds, so easy to do. But more importantly, the lighter weight has made this such a fun bike to ride at the racetrack because it's just getting work done. You can go into a corner fast, you come out of it really hard. I mean, it goes to show 19 kilos of weight loss makes such a huge difference. And the Kawasaki proved to be fun. Its extra responsiveness, smoothness and generally easy feel makes it easy to ride fast at the racetrack. The tires, not outright sporty in nature, they kept up with a fairly rapid pace as well. And in that sense, the Kawasaki is stunning. Its composure and temperament is ideal for new riders, and its great highway manners, effortless city behavior and fun track performance means it's actually awesome value. Impressive. But is the Kawasaki Ninja 650 the sharpest track tool here? No, it isn't. That would be the Ducati, naturally. The Monster 797 is supposedly an entry-level motorcycle, and on the highway I thought, well, the suspension's feeling like it's soft and therefore it probably won't do so well at the racetrack. I was horrifyingly wrong because that thing is just insane. It's a full-on Ducati in every sense of the word. You can brake late, turn hard, comes back on the gas really hard, tires grip, suspension works. I am really happy with this thing. Really happy. And the compact little 797 is a terrific highway machine. The suspension isn't rock hard, and that engine actually makes all that torque without the low rev judder that Ducati's engines generally have. It's distinctly sportier in feel as well as ergonomics than the Kawasaki, but all it misses is a small screen. The seat is comfortable, the tank range here is the longest by a small margin, and the Ducati feels brilliant on the highway. What it lacks is things to mount luggage to, which is a straightforward thing to solve. The big reason for the highway miles though, That's the engine.
The 803cc 90-degree V-twin is just the same as the Scrambler. There's really no difference. Makes about 75 PS and it is a really nice engine. Out on the highway, 120 steady, it's creamy smooth. 100, this particular motorcycle, I think it sort of surges a little bit, but here at the racetrack, it pulls so hard. On the main straight at Curry, you'll hit like 170, 75, something like that before you start braking into the first corner. It's fantastic, I love it.
The frame, a trellis, is sporty in nature, no doubt, but it also makes the monster responsive in the chicanes at the track. And in traffic, if you're riding in full gear, you won't notice the engine heat. There is some, to be sure. But the small size, ultra-compact feel and the quality of the suspension tune makes the Ducati Monster 797 an exceptionally nice sporty commuter. Special mention here also for the extra long clutch lever, which combines with the slip assist clutch to make for an astonishingly light clutch effort. This is a very impressive entry-level Ducati, ladies and gentlemen.
We knew that the Harley-Davidson 750cc V-twin was a good one on the street 750. The good feelings continue. So that is very happy to do 100, 110 out on the highway steady. It's really smooth, pulls hard out of corners at the racetrack. But the issue that you will have is in the city, where the rear cylinder is really close to your thigh. Not so much on this side, but on the other side of the bike, you will feel that heat.
In fact, heat is the single biggest issue we had with the Harley. In the city, the stiff feeling ride reveals itself to be a lot more supple than you think, and it deals with all but the worst of it far better than you expect. This isn't a large motorcycle either, and the faster steering setup also makes it remarkably agile through traffic. The street rod, it's very sweet in traffic and it draws the eyeballs as well. And once you hit the open road, the Harley-Davidson is wonderfully adept as well. The ground clearance and the ride means it will handle all kinds of highway easily. The engine will sit at 80 or 130 km an hour all day if you like, and just like the Ducati, wind blast and luggage mounting will be the two minor challenges. But a Harley-Davidson that is good in the city and great on the highway, that's not unexpected, is it? Time for the racetrack.
It was OVERDRIVE that almost inaugurated the BIC as far as motorcycles go with a 48, I think, many years ago. And now here we are back at the racetrack with another Harley-Davidson. But this time, that's the sportiest Harley-Davidson money can buy right now, and it's a serious thing because it's got ground clearance, the engine pulls really hard, the MRF tires are impressive in how much grip they've shown today. And so, would you consider this an inappropriate motorcycle to bring to the racetrack? Conventionally, yes, but if you did, oh my god, this thing will surprise you.
Holy wow! The Harley doesn't mind being hustled through this racetrack at all. It's got great cornering clearance and it wants you to use your body to create even more clearance if you can, and then it rewards you with even faster progress. I honestly was not prepared to have the street rod produce this kind of speed at a tight and twisty racetrack like the Curry Motor Speedway. And that, to me, is the surprise of this test. All of these three motorcycles have their own unique flavor, but none of them are out of sorts in any of the three environments we threw them into. That's 4,000 kilometers of testing each and not a hair out of place.
Alright, so let me be clear, I had a fun test. This has been an amazing experience. All these three bikes in all the three environments do a remarkably good job, right? The Harley-Davidson is the outlier because it's a very unique format and feel, and when you ride it back to back, it feels a little bit odd, but when you ride it on its own, you realize it does everything really well except for the cylinder heat, which you will have to figure out a solution around. And that brings the battle between these two. And if you're in a sporty or a modern naked kind of mood, this is where the game is at. And to me, that also represents the Z650, which is cheaper than that motorcycle, but also doesn't have a fairing and stuff, so closer in format to this. If you consider it from that angle, I would say that the Ninja should win this test because it's the best all-rounder here. It is the most affordable motorcycle here, it's excellent on the highway, the tank range is excellent, it behaves itself on the racetrack impeccably, and it's very easy to ride in the city, especially the Z650, which is even more affordable than that one. But my heart is here because this motorcycle somehow has got all the little bits of the monster that I like, right? So first of all, it's not a rough motor, so even at low revs when you open the gas, it's not juddering anymore. At 100, 120, the smoothness is just very, very, very likable. So out on the highway, it's very easy to ride. We rode it through the city. There is some amount of heat that comes from that cylinder, but it's a nice, compact, small motorcycle that you can really hustle through traffic if you're in the mood. And at the racetrack, this thing is an absolute monster. So overall, great motorcycle if you're in the Harley-Davidson mode, sportiest Harley you can buy, very, very highly recommended. Best all-rounder is there. It's the most affordable motorcycle here. It's an extremely capable motorcycle here. I wish it had a little more soul, but that's the only thing that's missing. This is the most expensive motorcycle here, but honestly, there is no way that you can mistake what you're paying for.